So hi everyone, so welcome back and welcome to the session. So let me share my screen. So in my previous session, like we discussed about uh, a few of the functions, how the functions works, and what are different ways of using the functions, and how we can just pass the parameters in functions, and all the multiple ways, like if the parameter what you pass in your functions, uh, and at the runtime and while calling out the function we can replace the values. Those are all things we discussed, right? And the different ways of calling out the function. Suppose if no parameter is specified, I mean the parameter is specified but the value is not being input to the parameter or input to the variable, then in that case also it is going to create sometimes at the runtime it shows certain error, right? So that is how those all things I think I discussed in my last class. And if you have any doubt, you can just drop your questions in the comment section, and you can just go through my video. And if you haven't liked my video, please like and subscribe my uh, Python Guru channel. And so today we will be discussing about the lambda expressions that partially we touched upon the lambda expression in my previous call. In the sense in the previous session. So in the lambda expressions, there was some key pointers were there, key callouts from the lambda expressions. I think I detailed the same thing in my last session as well. Like in the lambda expression, it is some kind of modern technique we can say. And to avoid certain piece of code, we can use the lambda expressions. In the lambda expressions, we do not explicitly specify the name of the function, and and the value what we pass in the function. I mean value in the sense the parameter, the variable what we pass in function. That function we directly uh, specify, rather specify the function name. And after that, once the whatever the statements or whatever the conditional statements or anything we want to specify in the functions, that we specify and get it executed and return the value, if what value your function is going to return. So that will be input for your further steps, right? Further execution of your code. But in lambda expression, we do not specify any function name. We do not specify any return statement. And in lambda expressions, we don't need to specify at all. Like, so here we go for the lambda expression. Here I have specified the function calling time to and where is the variable name. And once we call this function, so it will take this value which has been passed in the parameter and it will multiply by 2. So it will return that as a result. What value it is going to return? The value which has been passed in the function. What value which has the value which has been passed in the function, that is 3. And in return 3 multiplied by 2, so it is going to return 6. But if we write the lambda expressions, then we explicitly mention lambda and the variable which has been passed in the function, that is specified colon with the condition what we want to specify as a return value, right? So basically it's and that is the just a basic difference. Like we do not specify the function name and the return. So that's the difference as of now. Down the line at the bigger level, it may get complicated, but even in those cases, we do not specify the function name, and we do not return any value. So that is the first. That is the feature of the lambda expression. Now we talk about the map and filter. If we talk about the map and filter, map always return the value in true or false. Map is basically used for true and false, and filter, we can say filter is used for giving the numbers. Okay, so in filter, how do we use that map and filter? So here we have one data set we have specified, and in that each item is going to be, I mean, the each list item is going to be accessed via item. And if you want to specify, like, which function has to be called out inside your for loop, the times two is the function is going to be called out, and the value in times two was getting multiplied. I mean, the value which is getting passed inside the list, right? I mean, from the list. So that will be multiplied by 2. So each element which is there in the listing will get multiplied and will return as a result. So print k, that is map. That is one. This is not the map and filter example. I'll show you, like, in map, how do you write this kind of expression or this kind of code. So once we talk about sequence 42. For item in sequence k.append, again here we specify times to item and return this value. And here there is no difference. If we have to write this statement in the map function, how do we write that? While writing in the map, we simply specify the times to function we have specified here. And the sequence is the listing. The listing is going to be assigned in the sequence. So each element will be accessed via times to function, and it is going to be mapped, right? So, but it will return the same value. Okay, so there is no difference. So here, like, how do you want to map without lambda expression? Okay, and if you want to use the lambda expression here, the same listing method, we have specified the list and we are mapping the element with via lambda expression. This list will be the input, and lambda expression will call out whatever the value which is going to be passed here via listing in the sequence. So each element which is going to be accessed will be multiplied by 2 and will return this, and this value as an output, right? Now we talk about the sequence in the trees. Define, again we have specified one listing in that 54321. This is one listing, collection of elements. We define the variable, define the function, and we specify the condition. Here the condition is true or false. Like here we can write this entire code via this in a simplest way, right? So how do we write that? List, this is list map, what we are going to map, times 2 is the function, times 2 is the function which is written above, right? Times 2 is the function in the sequence. In the sequence is what? This is what the sequence, whatever the listing you have. So in each times 2 function will call up and it will execute. If it is, times 2 is the function, and we have specified this, this is the times 2 function we have specified. So instead of writing this entire code, we can, simply avoid, it will return the value as a true or false. So we have avoided all this condition, all this, all these parameters, and these many lines of code we can simply avoid. And we can write directly like this, instead of list map and times 2 is a function, and it is going to be accessed, and what value is going to be passed in the sequence. So each time the value is going to be accessed and get printed, right? So if we go for any shorthand way, what is the shorthand way? List map lambda. If we have to write the lambda expression, so here again there's one sequence, this is just list. Map, we have written one lambda function here. Lambda function is what? Where is 2? Where multiplied by 2 equal to 4. So this is the condition. So instead of writing this entire code, we have just simply specified here. And how this element is going to be accessed in the sequence is the listing in which each element is going to be accessed, right? So this is just a via lambda expression. How do you write that? In the lambda expression, we have specified the value. Like in each condition, it is going to validate. Like if it is equal to 4, after multiplying, so it will validate. If it is equal to 4, it will return true. If it is not, it will return false. I want to see, let me try executing. So it has returned, right? So the first time it has executed, and after executing 2 multiplied by 2 equal to 4. No, it is not 4. It is not equal. So in that case, it is going to return false. Second time, once the second time it will access the second element of the list, add 2 to the 2 to the 4, so 4 equal to 4, so it is true, then in that it is going to return true. In the same way, like it is going to access each element in your listing, and after that true, false, false, likewise, like each element in the listing it is going to return, right? We didn't specify, did we specify explicitly like it is true or false? Did we specify any, once if the condition matches, then in that case true or false supposed to be printed? Did we? No, right? So that is how it internally takes, like if ideally, as I, in the previous example, little above I have explained, like, it looks for the return value in and it returns the value in true or false form. Like if the condition gets satisfied, then it's going to return true. If the condition doesn't get satisfied, it's going to return false. So that is how the condition get matched. And in order to avoid these many lines, we have simply written the lambda statement, lambda expression. We have specified the lambda expression, and it is in 2 lines we have completed the code, right? So that is how it works. And if we want to just keep the code very short, then in that case we can write these kind of lambda expressions. But just to make sure, like it will always return the value as, if you want to validate something, true will validate, like the condition got satisfied, and false, condition didn't satisfy. That is how it works. So if you go for the number, so this is just lambda expression is for one number, and here if we try executing that, like here the condition got satisfied, no equal to 4, it has returned, like, once the condition got matched, so it has printed true. So if the second time we try executing that condition doesn't get true, not signed, right? It's not equal to 4. Where, so in your list you have 5 elements, 1 2 3 4 5. You try accessing each element in your listing, then in that case how it is going to return the value? It is not going to return the value. I mean, it will not until unless the value is not getting matched, or it's not, the condition is not going to met, it will return the value as false. It will return the result as a false. The statement is same, only the difference here is, like, we have added the not expression, not symbol. Okay, so if in the first time it is going to access this element, 2 equal to 1 equal to 4, not equal to 4, what should not equal to 4, so it should return true, right? So in the same way, 2 2 is a 4, not equal to 4, 2 2 is a 4, it is equal to 4. So here it should come as a false. The rest all the elements will 1 2 3 2 3 is 6, so 6 equal to 4, not equal to 4, it is true, right? So that is how each time is going to validate, and wherever the condition is not getting matched, there it is going to return true, and else it is gonna return false. So let me try executing that. What happened? Yeah. So got it, right? Only for once the condition not equal to 4. It was equal to 4 basically. 2 to the 4 for the second one, not equal to 4. So here it was true, so it turned false. Rest all the time it was not equal to 4. So everywhere it turns to true, and for only for once it turned as a false, right? Hope you got it. What this symbol is all about, how this equation, how this numbers are getting validated. Hope you got this, right? Let me reiterate that. Let me explain. Sequence, you have one list, and that list is assigned in sequence. So in order to access each element in this list, we have specified this is a list statement. We are going to map each element in the listing. So here we have the lambda expression where is 2, where into 2 not equal to 4. So each time each value in the list going to be multiplied and need to be validated if it is not equal to 4. If it is first time, it is 2 to the 1 not equal to 4, so the condition is true. So then that case we got the return as true. Second time 2 to the 4, 4 equal to 4, 4 not equal to 4, It's false, right? So here we got false. So likewise, for each element, it has validated and mentioned as a true or false. That is how it works, the map. Now we talk about the filter. Now we talk about where the condition is getting matched. We use the filter here. Here above we use uh, true or false for mapping, and here again we use a filter route. So in the filter route, how does it work? See, sequence, again here we have a sequence, and we have the lambda expression, and each element in your sequence is going to be accessed and need to multiply it by with the item value which is there in the list, and multiplied by 1. If it equal to 4, then equal to, it will return the value, right? So wherever, what the filter does basically, like whatever the exact value is going to be matched, and it is going to return only that value. Got it, right? So last and lambda item equal to 1. Item is the first value will be access. If 1 equal to 4, it will not return a value. Second, no. Third, no. Fourth, yes. Now, once the fourth time is item access the sequence in the listing, it access the fourth element, then 4 into 1 equal to 4. Then in the sequence, that the value which is going to be print, and the value which is going to come as an output, that is 4, because only here only once the value is being satisfied. So only if the value is being satisfied, then only the result will come, as if that result only will get printed, right? That is how it works. For actual case, it's another example. Like here again we have one sequence or list. Here again we have added the filter and added the lambda expression here. So each time it is going to find the percentage if equal to 0, right? Item, like 1 equal to 0. So each time it is going to filter out wherever equal to 0, where the condition is going to satisfy, there only it will return, right? It will return the value. So we have added for 2, 4, 8, 10, the remainder is equal to 0, right? Item percentage 2. So only for 2, 4, 8, 10, the percentage to of the listing value would be 0. So here only for one place the values which has been satisfied, filter out the value where the lambda statement holds true. So that is how it works. Now we will go for methods, right? So method is another important concept here. How does the method works? Let me, for example, we have this string, right? We have this string st hello equal to, and this the entire string has been assigned into st. So st is the variable. If we try printing that, then the entire list, I mean the entire statement, entire string is gonna be print. If you want to convert this the entire string into lowercase, then how are we gonna lower is the predefined function. So as in st we have the string assigned, so we will just write that st dot lower. So first we need to try executing this. I execute this. Now if we try executing this, hello, my name is Sam. So it has just, it has converted the entire string into lowercase. If we try executing that, then it will convert the entire string into uppercases. Now you want to split. So there are certain rules are there in order to split that. st dot split what the number of string what you have in your, the number of words you have in your string, it will just segregate that. It will split based on space basis. Like if you don't specify any value, it will split on the space basis. So you have 4 spaces basically for in the string. So it has divided into 4 divided each word with the spaces, right? So this is another example, like this is the tweet and the entire string is assigned into this one. So here again, suppose here we want to split the value basis that hash symbol or hash sign. So here we will try executing that, and then with the hash symbol it is going to segregate the value, it is going to split, and after that it is going to assign the values in list type. So once it assign and we try printing that, only the value which is there with the hash only that value is gonna print here. So go sports, sports, high sports, hello sports. So the value which has been added here, that has been separated, and rest everything has been printed here in this variable, right? So hope you got it. Like, whatever the symbol or whatever the value you pass here, like here we added the spaces. So based on the space basis, it has printed each word separately. Again, in the same way with the symbol or any word, if you specify the based on basis that it has just keep all the values and written as a output. That is how. So if you want to access this a particular element of your listing, then how will you access that? Print list underscore a. So if here we have list underscore a, this is the value. Like in list underscore a, we have to access the second element. So how will we access that? So in the second number, what was the value here? So as we know, like in Python, the indexing gets start with the zeros. So 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So it has printed this value, right? So in the same way, like tweet dot split, like this is the tweet, and if we want to split that, so on the hash basis we have to segregate. So how will it? So on the basis of value, it is going to print here. Like the second and third element has to be printed. Then again we hit enter, and it is going to print it. The second element 0, 1, 2, 3. High sports, high LO sports, high sport, LO sports. So it has printed. So that is how it works. Like how do you split the element and how do you access each element. So again, we have with the dictionary combination, like as I told you, in the dictionary, each element in your dictionary is get paired with one key, right? So that is called a key pair. Key pair. I hope you remember. If you're not sure about that, just go view. Please take a look at my video or the session where I explained about this. Key value pair concept. How does the dictionary works? How does it work, and how each element in your dictionary get paired with one key, right? So each element in your key, each element in your listing get paired with, in your dictionary get paired with one key. So if you want to specify the keys only, then only the keys will get displayed here. So again, I hit enter. We have, and here if you try executing, only the keys will get printed. And if it try entering key, then in the values will be printed here, right? Diction item, K1 item 1, K, and why it is uniquely specified. The second, one more thing, as I explained in my previous session, like, so the key duplication is not possible in the dictionary. So here the key 2 has been explained. I mean, twice it has been. So it has been overridden by this one. So that is what you just make sure whenever you specify the key pair, and that the key should not be duplicated. Otherwise, it will not give the proper result, or it will be overridden, right? You just take a note. This is another print, another list. If you want to print the list, then again, so it will just print the list. Let me try executing that. Okay, so it has printed list.pop. That is, it will just remove the value, the pop, in the sense, like if you have certain element in your listing, it will pop the value. It will just one after another, it is going to remove the value from your list. So if I list.pop, it has written, it has removed 6. If I try executing again, so again, so what you understood, like each time it will remove that particular value from the listing, right? That is how the pop function works in your listing, right? That if x is present in, now x in present, x is what? X in if this value is present in this one. So if it is present, then in that case it is going to return true. Otherwise, it will return as a false. Got it? Like if you want to validate certain value in your listing, then in that case, if the value is present, then it's going to return true. If it is not present, then in that case, it's going to return false. So like 1 in 1, 2, 3, then in that case, supposed to return true, right? The 5 is not there. It's supposed to return false, right? So that is how it works. Hope you'll hope you got it. And if you have any doubt, so how the method works, how the pop function works, how the function works, how the key pair dictionary concept works, how the duplication of key supposed to be avoided, And those all the kinds of whatever I explained, just practice. These are the things that download Anaconda, get it practiced, and home. If you have any doubt, you can just drop an email or you can just put down your question in comment sections. I would be happy to answer that. Thank you very much. Thanks for, if you haven't subscribed my channel, kindly subscribe Patchen Guru. And I would be adding, some more interesting videos in my upcoming sessions. Thank you very much.